Hey guys, so we do have the Sony Xperia XZ and the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. We're going to do a comparison here of the speed and camera performance. Can Sony's latest phone knock off Samsung from the top of the podium? We're going to check it out here. So far I've been very impressed with the XZ. It feels like the most refined Sony phone ever released. And you know, I am very hypercritical now. My rose tinted glasses have worn off. So we wanted to see the actual performance here against the Exynos S7 Edge, which is considered to be, you know, a boss here still. Samsung's best phone, I think, here that you can buy. Going to try and avoid any Note 7 kind of jokes in this video, but obviously it is lingering in the back of Samsung kind of camp here. So you can see the XC still a little bit slow when it comes to the actual boot up, which is typical Sony. But how is the fingerprint scanner? We have set that up here. We're going to have a look to see how it works. So let's 3, 2, 1, go. So it's on the side and you do have to be quite accurate with it, but you can see when it does work, it's blindingly fast. Obviously not everyone does get it, unfortunately. Strange Sony decision, but when it does work you can see absolutely reliable, which is good. So we have updated the phone completely to the latest firmware, and we're going to see how they compare here day to day, see if there's any differences, with some apps opening. And some tests have already been done and they show like oh dear, how am I going to avoid the Note 7 jokes when it's in my face? So a few of these are going to the S7 Edge, some of them are going to the XZ. Camera on the S7 Edge there. What about the gallery? Again, quite fast on the right. Maybe the left there. We have music. Whoa! So this is a very fast Sony handset. You know, it is only coming with 3 gigs of RAM. Do you remember that? Quicker on the game. And we do have something else. Gangstar 4. Wow, straight in there on the Sony. Sony. Very nice. Most Snapdragon devices struggle against, you know, the Exynos beast here. Oh! But then again, I think the Samsung is loading something, so probably going to disqualify that one. NBA. Which one's going to load faster? Oh, Sony again! Wow. So Sony, you know, kind of knocking the socks off here of the Samsung. We're going to have a look at the Wi-Fi performance. So you can see both of them are on the same infrastructure. Start with the S7 Edge. Oh, this guy's work cut out for it. Sony, you have got your work cut out for you. I mean, look at that. That is beastly. And what's this? Wow, something weird going on in the background. and it's still beastly. Let me just get rid of this. It's not going away, is it? There we go. So even though it was like downloading that, I think I'm just going to run that again, just for fairness. You know, we want to be fair here, because it's getting slower now. That doesn't make any sense. So we'll stick with the first score, because the first score was quite good. Score was what was it again? 199. Beast. Come on, Sony, we've got faith in you. Oh, wow. Oh, 197. So that was just behind the... In fact, no, it wasn't. It was ahead. What am I on about behind? 197. That's 190. Well, well, well. And better for the upload. Very nice. Yes, get in there, Sony. So we're going to move on now to some web browsing. So let's try BBC. Go. Oh, Sony again. I saw Sony load a bit faster there. And again. GSM Arena. Go. Similar. Daily fail. Go. Oh, that was probably Samsung actually. I'm not 100% sure. I think that was Samsung. You can see the pictures loading a little bit faster here, but as you can see, very nice and quick to zoom in and stuff. Samsung again. One more, decider. Phone Arena. Go. Identical. Faster here, clicking the link. So a little bit back and forth here for the web browsing, but the Sony certainly kept up, and that is the main thing. So we're going to have a look at the multitasking here. So this is 3 gigs of RAM versus 4 gigs of RAM. And what do we have here? We have some reloading on the XZ. It's not what I want to see. A lot of reloading here. Oh dear. Maybe because it is early software. Very aggressive memory management. That is hilarious. Zeusk. Yeah, you can see Sony not very good here, I'm afraid, when it comes to the multitasking. Oh dear. And I'm sure the last Sony was fantastic when it came to the multitasking, like the X Premium, etc. Sorry, the Z5 Premium, what am I on about? See if they held the game in memory. No. Sony, what you're doing? You're letting us down at the end. Now we do have Gangstar 4. Oh, straight back in there. Very good. Should have been like that for every single one of them. NBA. Reload again. Samsung is the winner when it comes to the multitasking. Why did you only go for 3 gigs of RAM, Sony? That was a bit of a fail. But so how can we recap here? Speed, very similar. Wi-Fi, Sony. Browsing, very similar, like back and forth, but the multitasking, definite improvement needed with the XZ. We're going to have a look at the camera now as well, because a lot of people do like to see, you know, if Sony can finally get it right here. And in fact, let's just open up the album on both of them. So you do get obviously the 23 megapixel camera here with the Sony, and I gotta say, you know, it's quite a decent camera, but again, you know, they don't seem to understand the importance of the optical image stabilization. Like when I'm looking at these pictures here on the Samsung, I notice still a little bit more clearer images when you're looking really close. It's an improvement over the past Sony phones. I keep saying that every time, but it's not the big step up that I was hoping for. But you know, obviously I am very brutal when it comes to these camera tests. I do go out and, you know, see the real performance here when it's like really pitch black. And if you're looking for the best performance when it comes to the pitch black conditions, you are going to get that with Samsung still, because they're using the optical image stabilization and the lower megapixel count. But it's very usable, as you can see, you know, not a massive issue. In terms of the good light, very nice performance on the XZ, very nice levels of bokeh. A little bit more realistic colours, I think, compared to the S7 Edge, similar to what I've seen before on some other Sony phones. They a little bit less saturate the images, but you're going to be very happy with the day-to-day performance. Absolutely beautiful images. We do also have a return to form when it comes to the actual 4K video, so you can have a look at the sample that I did do with this, and I gotta say, you know, it's very good. Actually, it's the only real thing I'd say is that when you're zooming in on the XZ, there is a little bit of shake if you've got not a very steady hand. If we just like have a look here, you can see basically the focusing is very quick. It's also got that steady shot system, which is absolutely fantastic, really. When you know you consider how smooth it is, it makes the OIS on the S7 Edge feel a little bit shaky, but when you actually zoom in, you can see here a little bit shaky kind of performance here. So that you should bear that in mind. I do like the way they made it much more smoother though when you are actually zooming in, because before it wasn't that smooth, but it looks like you've got a proper camcorder now, so that's quite nice. So you know, very nice video recording, as we do expect from Sony, and it's welcome to see, you know, that fast hybrid predictive focus with the 4K technology all kind of mixed in there for a brilliant experience overall. So what can you say in regards to, you know, the XZ? I think this is the most refined Sony so far, really, when you consider, you know, what it's bringing to the table. I don't think it's perfect. I think they could definitely improve it in terms of the software for the multitasking, but I do think you know, it's, if you look for a Sony fan, it's a phone which is worth buying here. You know, I rarely say that. I wouldn't say the same for the Xperia X or the Xperia X Performance, but if you're coming from a Z5 or a Z3, this is definitely worth upgrading to. I mean, the build alone to me is absolutely marvelous. You know, it's like got this really nice kind of curved glass on the front. You know, it feels amazing in the hand. The actual performance day to day is very good, as you saw. It kept up with the Exynos S7, and the fingerprint scanner is sublime, really, in terms of the, you know, functionality. You also get the, you know, optimizations here when it comes to the, you know, the audio experience. Sony is a master here when it comes to this. I'll probably do a full review between these handsets because they are the same price, and a lot of people will be looking to see which one is the best. In terms of the battery, you can see it's pretty much held up here. Probably not going to be quite as good as the S7 Edges because it has got a bigger battery, but probably on par with the S7 or the Snapdragon S7 if you live abroad. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here between these two handsets, and I hope you found it helpful. If you've got any questions, do let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.